Right then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to RSF1 Division 5. The best division comfortably in this league. It is me, not as always, but I'm back finally after another 3 weeks away to be completely out of practice and have no idea what to say the whole time. But it's a pleasure to be here. I am joined for the first time in a very long time by Silky. Silky,
It's been a
how
while.
are you doing?
It
It's
has
been a very
been a while
long time.
commentating with you. Obviously, I took a bit of a hiatus. Came back last week. Did comms with Jake. That was enjoyable. I'm now back with my usual streaming partner. Yeah, it's good. It's good to be back with you, mate. It's good to be back.
You're first. You never forget your first.
You never
That's
forget your first. I lost my commentary virginity to you, and that's something I can't take back.
And if you weren't sure, that's how commentary is going to go today. You can expect lots more of that throughout as we navigate an 18-minute short qualifying session and then a 9-lap sprint, I believe,
Yeah, I think it's a 9.
before our 50% race at this circuit Paul Ricard. I actually quite enjoy this track. Which I'm definitely in the minority on. I think it lends itself to some pretty good racing, at least on the game. So I'm excited for today.
I enjoy the straights. That's one thing that I will give this track. It has some very fun straights, and if you can get your DRS popping, if you're a good driver, you're going to get a lot of overtakes here. That's one thing that I will say for this track. It's got its downfalls for sure, specifically like the entirety of Sector 1. But if we look past that, she does all right.
And good drivers we have in abundance. That's what I'm going to say. There's at least two, Stars and James.
So our definitions of abundance are different.
Yeah.
Two's a crowd, some say. Not 3, but 2.
Stars has won the championship. It's all wrapped up. He was the first in RSF1 to do so, but he has not yet secured the constructors. That is still up for grabs. Now it's about an 80-point gap, I believe, between first being McLaren and second being Haas. But I think it's still all to play for, really. I mean, Daniel can pull out a good result on his day, and we've seen Stars bottle many times so far this year, and still somehow win the championship.
He does love a capitulation.
Yeah, he does. He really does. So hopefully we'll see some more of that, and we can send this fight down to the final race. Obviously, with sprint points up for grabs as well, there's more opportunities for both to secure their positions in the constructors. But I think probably lends itself into Haas's favour more, the sprint, than it does McLaren's.
I don't know if you tuned in last week, but for those of you who did, I don't know if he remembers himself, but Stars did promise me donuts in qualifying. Now, if I do see these, I'm ecstatic. It's his time to celebrate, and I think he deserves it. I would love to see some donuts around this beautiful track, but we'll see.
Well, we'll see as he hoons that McLaren around Sector 3. Only 4 more turns to go now on this lap to set his first of the session. I think going to see these drivers get 2, maybe 3 attempts here before we go into the sprint later on. Rounds the final corner. It might be good enough for provisional pole.
It's a long way down. Final straight. It is a long final straight, but that is second under Kabuki. Kabuki had good pace last week as well. He was my dark horse, obviously, and did put out a relatively entertaining race, I can say at least. So hopefully it'll be interesting to see what he can do. Rogue putting up a 1:31.3, very, very quick from that Ferrari.
Ooh. And 3 Ferrari-powered cars now in the top 3, as Immortal had put himself onto the top, the first row of the grid. That's now blocked by XTG Mando, who finds himself in P2, as once again, we'll see these drivers trickle into the pit lane and head back out for their second runs.
Might be Mando's time to shine. Now that Stars obviously has the Drivers' Championship wrapped up, I feel like as he did say, he's going to come out here and have fun, which is what we love to see down here in Div 5. You know, he's done the hard work. It's paid off for him. Be interesting to see him enjoying his races for these past couple. But obviously, we'll have to see how that goes for him. There's a lot of traffic here, but I do believe a lot of these cars are going to be heading towards the pit.
Yeah, entertainment always the number one priority in Division 5, and Stars has delivered.
And there's plenty of it. Always entertainment in Division 5. Especially, you know, when that weather starts acting up and we get the very frequent safety car. It's fun. You know, you never know what's going to happen. It can be literally anyone's, and it could literally be anyone who crashes out. And I think that's what keeps this division so entertaining. Is you never know who's going to absolutely bin it.
It's true. I mean, I've seen Stars often crash out from the lead of the race by driving into the back of a safety car. So truly, anything is possible in Division 5. And,
I mean, I'm paying attention to Immortal right now, and he's not been on the track for 6 turns, and I'm all for it.
Why not?
He goes into the pit lane as he goes. Obviously, has set a very respectable P3 for now. We could see that change as we start to see some of these other drivers come out. I know that we do usually see quite a quick qualifying time from Thor. I know Adam's got a little bit about him. Aaron, obviously, a couple of seasons ago, very, very quick in that Mercedes. So it'll be interesting to see what some of these drivers can pull out here.
Prediction in chat there for who people reckon we're going to see on pole. I've set it to just the teams here, so we're looking at a Ferrari or a Haas or anybody else. Who would your bet be going towards?
I want James, but I don't think it will be James. As much as that hurts me to say. Rogue came in with I think it's a respectable 1:30.13 from Rogue. I think it will be beat, but it's a quick time. I'm sticking with my dark horse to be in the top 3 at least. I'm going Kabuki again, but if I'm going to go for pole, I don't think you can argue against Stars.
No, you bet would be on anybody else. I don't know. I mean, obviously Mando is a decent ways up there, but there's a lot of Ferrari powered cars up towards the top. So I think it's possible we could see someone else.
So what Ferrari have done with this engine is it's impressive, as these drivers are absolutely flying around this track right now. But obviously we'll have to see how it goes in the later steps here of qualifying. I think this sprint's where it's all going to be to play for, though. Very excited.
Definitely.
A lot of these drivers are better at racing. A lot of these drivers are better at actual racing than they are at putting out times. You know, we've seen a lot of very good drivers from Biscuit climbing up, but not necessarily setting the best time in qualifying and getting in the points, despite getting like 16th, 17th on paper. You know, there's some of these drivers, you know, like Immortal is always quick in qualifying, but, you know, could have an incident in the sprint and it could cost him. But you never know what could happen here. So, you know, as much as obviously provisional pole can be interesting, you can never really write someone out.
No, and Mr. Consistent, Mr. Biscuits has proved himself time and time again to find positions during the race, even if he's had a poor quali, and he's got even more of the race today than normal. So hopefully we'll see him taking advantage. Only P12 at the moment, but still time yet to go out for another run. Mr. Adam Moore currently on a lap, bombing it down the back straight there. Going to get very heavy onto the brakes going into the chicane here. Only P9 now. I think you could see him shoot up a little bit.
I think in general, Alpine had quite a stinker last week. Obviously, they spent a lot of time racing each other, which, you know, proved to be a little bit costly. Obviously, team orders didn't necessarily come into play in that race, and it led to a couple of incidents, but frankly, nothing too concerning. Did force Thor to retire his car, though, which is, you know, not what we want to see at all. We never want to see a car retire. We want action, we want safety cars, but retiring cars is never something you want to see. You obviously want all these drivers coming past that checkered flag at the end.
Of course.
Very respectable chicane there from Adam. This could be in the 131s. Yeah. Oh, just outside with the 132.3, but it does climb in one place above Aaron. I don't know, maybe that 131.3 is not going to get beaten in qualifying here, you know?
It might not. That is
going to try.
It's a formidable time from Rogue.
It does look like that time's going to be beat, though. I'm not going to lie. It might, to be fair, though, I think he just seems to be taking it chill right now. I don't know. He kind of messed up a bit on his exit into Sector 3. But we'll have to see how he takes this. If he does decide to go for another lap, which I think he will, judging by the fact he's saving his ERS right now. Taking the other Ferrari approach of just spending all the time off the track. There's so much runoff area here that it's not really going to be a problem. You know, there's no gravel. It's just lovely, lovely, smooth asphalt for him to drive on.
I mean, honestly, with the amount that they give you, you may as well take it. Plenty
Enjoy
of
the scenic route
there, anyway.
Get the scenic route going. Why not? I think he's going to step on it here, though. Yeah, here we go. This is going to be the lap I'm going to keep an eye on. Is the Ferrari of TYG Rogue. See if he can improve even further upon that 1:30.13. It's not likely, but you never know. Do you think we're going to see any 1:30s today?
No.
None.
Well, maybe from Rogue. I think you'd be asking a lot. We don't see a lot of track evolution in Div 5. It really feels like, but especially not in short quali. But we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, just that purple sector 1 though. We could potentially see him shave at the very least microseconds off. You know, which if he can shave a tenth or two, he's not going to complain.
I would love to have him make me eat my words. I'd have no issues with that whatsoever. This chicane's going to make or break it for him, though.
Another driver who I've known for a long time. I've known him for about 5 or 6 years now. A bit on and off, speaking occasionally, but he's quick. He's also half decent at FIFA, which I respect. He is currently ahead of time, though, so we'll have to see how that goes for him. But you know, he's a good driver, and he does get pace out of this Ferrari, and we might potentially, even though he's up by a couple hundredths here, if he takes these last couple turns well, there is a bit of traffic though that could cost him this lap here.
They've moved for him though. They've moved.
They have moved.
Teammates, one of them.
It's all going to come down to this final very tight bend. That seems to take it quite well though. This could potentially shave maybe hundredths. I don't know about tenths. Yeah, hundredths. What down to shaved off? I think 0.026. Respectable.
It's something. Hopefully, will be enough to cement his position at the top of the field.
So it's a hard time to beat, but we do have Mr. Stars on his outlap, who is quick. Like this, you can't take it away from him. The speed he gets out of this McLaren is sensational. If McLaren could build their cars the way he drives them in real life, they'd be onto a winner here. But sadly, having Nick behind one of the wheels doesn't do him any favours.
Only
wow! Out of nowhere, honestly, his teammates won the championship, and he's showing up that he's not the only driver here. He might not be that number 1 seat. He wants that number 1 seat if Stars potentially goes up to Division 4.
I suppose that's the key. He's got to lay down the gauntlet a little bit, prove he's got the speed, but not too much, so that he gets moved up. Fine balancing act for sure. Stars Orphan only has 3 minutes and 45 seconds to both set a hot lap and deliver a dozen donuts.
I would love him to deliver me some donuts, to be honest. Some nice little Krispy Kreme glazed round that final bend. If I don't see a donut from him here, I'm actually going to be disappointed. I'll be honest.
I don't know if I want to see Stars Orphan delivering you a Krispy Kreme glaze, but he's going to start a hot lap now anyway, and we'll see what he's able to do on that.
You know, I'll say if he can beat this 1:32.1, he could be onto a good race here. But that Ferrari 2.3 is going to be hard to get past in the sprint. If they defend well, that's going to put them in a very, very good position.
The man behind them, though, in P4, Wee Biscuits, is certainly the man for the job.
I was going to say, if there's someone to do it, Biscuit is quick, and he loves a race. In race conditions, Biscuit is one of my favourites for overtakes. He just climbed 11 positions at one point in the other race, which is outrageous. Unfortunately, again, did have an incident that cost them a little bit, but it's very quick in race conditions. Knows how to get in the head of other drivers and hit them with the either like a switch over or just take him on the inside. He's quick. Mando is shaving time here. It might be enough to get him in the 131s, to be honest. He just shaved off 0.2 in that sector. You just see what he can do here in Sector 3. If he takes this well, he could potentially rise. I don't think it's going to be one of the high 131s, though. I could be wrong. I could eat my words. And hopefully eat some donuts in a couple minutes.
Few corners to go for him. It's a very long straight, though. That's the thing. You're never quite certain as they round this final turn.
He has taken it well, though.
I tell you what, he's going to be very close if he can get it over the line. Crosses now. Just too slow. 0.8 of a second, less than a second between P1 and P9.
I was going to say the entire points is it's scary how close they are right now. It's impressive though, nonetheless. It's very, very tight in that top half. We do have some drivers putting out slower laps, but obviously some of these can impress. We have Raikkonen who's yet to register a lap though. He's on an out lap right now. Should make it around. I don't see why not. Has a minute 12 and is halfway through sector 2. I'd be surprised they don't. Not a slow driver either in this Red Bull, I'll be honest.
Immortal has just set himself up for a fast lap. He's starting that now. James has just crossed the line to go into sector 2.
My prediction here: Raikkonen right now off this lap. If this, he's not even started the hot lap yet. I'm saying it now. P9.
P9. I'll hold you to that.
If he has it, you owe me a takeaway. In fact, you can buy me kebab pizza midway through the session.
Deal. Here we go then. If SLR Raikkonen finishes or qualifies P9, or what we say, just sets a lap here that puts him into P9.
Yeah.
If he sets a lap time that puts him into P9, then a kebab pizza will be delivered to...
Kimmy, I'm relying on you here. I'm hungry.
To Silky's door.
I would say it on stream. I don't fancy being doxxed, but you know.
That's right, you can message me.
Yeah.
We'll sort it. Here comes Immortal then, around the final few corners. James is going to cross the line first as he rounds the final turn now. He might just get this. In fact, I think he's going to be a little far off. Crosses 31 second mark. He's way down in the 32.8. Doesn't improve on position. Doesn't improve his lap either. Immortal now crosses the line. Only good enough for P3 still. Doesn't improve again. His teammate Rogue has set a purple sector 1 though, and is a 1/10 of a second up. Where's SLR Raikkonen? That's the one we all care about. He's going to finish game.
I've not taken my eyes off him yet, I'll be honest. That yellow tip of this Red Bull is just flying right towards my mouth, and I'm ready for it.
Oh no! Oh no! The kebab pizza dream is over as SLR Raikkonen. Oh, and he gets teleported back as well.
I am devastated.
Spins out at the
We'll be
top
having
of the
words.
circuit.
We'll be having words. It's not good enough.
That is gutting.
The annoying thing is, it was quite a quick lap as well.
It was. He was flying around.
No.
TYG Rogue has one turn to go, and he's quite close here to improving on his time, maybe stealing pole position away from XDG Mando in just 2 seconds. He's got to beat it by more than 2/10. Does so, improves up to 131.154.
Rogue is looking very quick.
That is qualifying over.
That's going to be a hard Ferrari to beat. That is going to be really, really difficult.
Dark Shadow in P4 for Aston Martin.
That's a name I've not seen up there. Wow.
That's Lisa Vince's replacement, as she sadly left us. Well, she's still a reserve, but
so you made it off as if she's deceased there. That would have been
yeah, no, she's not passed away. Not
a positive. We take those.
I hope, anyway. I don't know.
Yeah, I would say if your reserve drivers have passed, you know, a bit of an issue. If Dark Shadow gets some stomach sickness and he's not able to get behind that wheel, not having a reserve driver is going to cost Aston here badly.
It would not be ideal for the league or for the team, that is for sure. But TYG Rogue will lead them down to turn 1 in our sprint race. 9 laps of frantic France racing.
These Ferraris are going to be hard to get by.
He's got Mando for company on the front row, but as you say, Immortal up in P3 needs a good start. Immortal has suffered off the starts in the past.
Not the quickest off the line.
Does need a good launch. Dark Shadow also lining up on the second row of the grid. Stars off and down in P7, but James in P8, Daniel in P12. So Haas really needing to gain a few positions in this sprint race here, and hope that one of the McLarens, at least I would imagine, suffers a retirement to keep this Constructors' Championship dream alive.
A slow start from James, which is surprising. Obviously, he came off of his second win in RSF1 last week. Raced extraordinarily. So quick. It's a shame to see him not able to repeat this on this track, but it's a difficult track, eh? You know, like, it's not a fun one. There's a lot of tight bends, and they can cost you if you don't take them well. And sadly, they've cost him here today. But come sprint race, I wouldn't write him out.
No, I mean, he's got more opportunity here than any other day to improve on that and make right a relatively poor qualifying by his standards, at least, as you say, looking to make it a hat trick of wins today.
I'd like to see it.
The countdown is on already. Yep.
No donuts from Stars, and frankly, I've missed out on pizza and donuts now, and my stomach can't take it. I'm disappointed.
It's a it's a lot of it's a foodless day in the Silky household, I suppose.
It is, and you know, my stomach is rumbling.
Stomach is rumbling. So are the engines as we make our way around the circuit for one final lap. Before we go racing, there is the tyres that everybody are on. Only one driver, Mr. SLR Raikkonen, is on the soft compound tyre. Everybody else deciding to stick with the mediums.
Seem to have had some technical issues there. But what I was going to say is that despite how hungry I am, I'm hoping none of these drivers eat any walls coming up this race. It's not what I'm saying.
Ideally not. I mean, as was mentioned a couple of times, it is a challenge to hit these walls, but not impossible.
I wouldn't write anyone off. Interesting to see Mando's been disqualified, by the way, in this sprint already. Didn't even make it across the checkered flag.
Yeah, I didn't think it looked like he really started. I think he just sat on the grid. Probably wasn't prepared for such an early ready up there as we saw. So yeah, I think that's all. But
I think early is one way to put it.
Obviously looking for a quick launch here to try and break ahead of Rogue before turn 1, and he's not going to get that on those cold tyres. It's going to be a tricky one for him, but still possibilities.
Once his tyres start warming up, I think he's going to absolutely cook the cars behind him. That does now mean, though, that Ferrari are going to be there, right next to each other in 1-2 right now.
Yeah. Very, very likely here we will see a Ferrari 1-2 going up that first straight. That's where I would expect to see a few overtakes if these guys can keep all their cars nice and tidy on the way through Sector 1 and most of Sector 2. This could have to spin in. Oh, there's a spin.
I'll tell you something that I'm looking at, and I'm licking my lips. P20, Raikkonen, softs. The only softs on the grid right now.
Indeed, only one driver on the softs. He's going to have a bit of a challenge to make them last until the end of the race, but exciting stuff nonetheless.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Well, you have to start the race on the softs as well. No, it just won't have a soft for the main race. Well, regardless, here we go. Lights on. They're away. Oh, what a launch from XTG Mando. He is so far ahead. What an incredible start. Rogue has... Oh, there's a massive crash. Oh, my God. There is an absolutely humongous crash. And James is out of the session. There's drive-through penalties. There's 5-second penalties. There's a full-course safety car already. What
didn't even make it turn 1
to this sprint.
Thor's taken as much as James has taken the worst of it, Thor's not much worse off. That is rough. What actually happened there? I was paying attention to Mando absolutely fly away. I didn't actually see what happened.
It was a multi-car pile-up further down the field. I think James kind of got caught by a driver off to his right. He swung back left and ended up hitting both the Alpine and the Williams there. I would... From my perspective, it's very difficult to tell exactly what went on. We'll put it down to a racing incident for now and not look into a restart, but that was utter carnage. I'm glad we got it all on stream at least.
I'll tell you what though, that the Haas driver of James and also Günther Stein are going to be livid seeing that. Obviously, need a good result here from this race, and if they don't get one, it's going to cost them this championship.
But I'll tell you who isn't.
In trouble.
Tell you who isn't. SLR Raikkonen. 8 positions.
I told you, these softs, they'll play off in qualifying.
Not even one turn completed, and he'd gained 8 positions.
So what a start from this Red Bull. Obviously, the crash out has cost a lot of those drivers, but you know, once the safety car goes in, which is going to be, I would assume by, I'm going to say lap 3, maybe lap 4, he's going to cook the rest of these drivers with these softs. If he gets a good start anyway.
Just watch here, because the safety car doesn't start until these guys are around the turn there. I think this field is going to be pretty bunched up.
5 drivers in the pits.
Looks like we've gotten through pretty incident-free, though, at least. Yeah, 5 drivers in the pits. Kabuki, Daniel, Dabin Squad, Thor, and Emotive Carrot. Daniel swapping onto the softs, Emotive Carrot swapping onto the softs. Thor's gone for the hards.
I see that. I don't know what I think about it, but I'm seeing it. I like that call. I mean, if he can get the best out of them in the first half of the actual race, you know, it could be a fantastic play from Thor in the Alpine. But we'll have to see. It's a shame to see both Haas's involved in this incident. Obviously, Constructors' Championship relies on them getting a good result here today. Having James already out and Daniel now down in P16 on having a tyre change and having pitted already could be a problem for them.
Well, and Mando leading the race, which all but secures the championship for McLaren. I think they needed to come away from here with what would it be? A 43-point lead, 44-point lead.
It's entirely possible.
And they're actually extending their 80-point gap as it stands by a further 9. So if it all stays how it is right now, then the McLarens, before we even get onto the main race, are your Constructors' Champions for Division 5. But, well, we're only through 1 lap. We've had 6 cars crash and 1 retirement. So it's all still to play for.
It's like I said earlier, you never know who's going to crash out, and the driver from last race who won it is the first out. But I mean, you can never write out anything in this league. It's so entertaining because, again, it's so unpredictable.
Oh dear.
That's unfortunate from Raikkonen getting a pit lane speeding penalty. Coming off the softs already, I'm going to assume here, but we'll have to see.
There's 2 other...
Mediums.
Aaron. Oh my...
Oh, Aaron, that was bad. Severe collision with stars.
Distracted.
Has lost part of his wing as well.
Yeah, distracted by the drivers in the pit lane, perhaps. Aaron SEO has no words.
Rear-ended. Rear-ended is the word I'd use.
Yeah, we've all seen it. Raikkonen, as you said, back in the pit lane, moving off the softs onto the mediums, although, because he's picked up that 5-second penalty, it wouldn't shock me if he goes back into the pit lane on this upcoming lap to go back onto the softs.
I honestly wouldn't be surprised.
Wouldn't be the worst decision in the world. Liam has now pitted for the soft compound tyres, as has BBB Thor. His second stop of the race. Yeah, multi-stops race for multiple drivers here today already.
Interesting to see, by the way, that despite not pitting yet, Volanote is still behind some of the drivers who pit under safety car.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Obviously, a couple of drivers have gone onto the softs, but I don't know. I just would have expected to climb a couple more places, at least be pushing like P12.
Yeah,
Must have
it's
been
odd.
very far behind.
That is odd. I'm not sure if he was caught up in any of the early incidents. Maybe he just hit the brakes so hard and backed off that he found himself quite far down the field, but that is surprising still. Aaron continuing to drive quite recklessly, it must be said. Perhaps just trying to play mind games with Stars Orphan. Safety car in this lap, which does put Raikkonen in a pretty poor position. XDG Mando will lead them down to turn 1 in 3 corners time. He's got Dark Shadow in the Aston Martin behind him, and then the 2 Ferraris. So that battery at the front of the field broken already, thanks to incidents further down, and Mando's absolutely electric start on cold tyres.
So I'm expecting another electric start here as well.
Yeah, same again. You would have thought that Aston Martin looking pretty racy, though. Backs off. Mando takes advantage. Rogue doesn't get the best of launches. Neither does Immortal. Aaron swings himself into the pit lane, takes advantage of the slowness at the end. So the top 4 is going to stay exactly how they were. Not too much drama further back either. And now, there we go. Rogue going side by side with Dark Shadow. Snuck himself ahead. That is a phenomenal move by Rogue already.
Honestly, he's a very, very quick driver, and he knows how to get the most out of this Ferrari. He might even try to make a move on Mando here in the next couple of laps if he can hold pace. Have to see how that goes for him, though. Obviously, he's a second behind right now.
Dark Shadow looking pretty squirrely in that Aston Martin. A few moments already. He's got his teammate only 5 positions behind him. This is a phenomenal. In fact, I don't think Aston Martin have they scored a point this season?
I believe they've
scored many.
Like 2. It's not been the best outing from the British drivers, but hopefully we can get something out of them today with this very impressive start.
Yeah, this is a phenomenal showing from Aston Martin as it stands, if they can keep it going at least. Again, a bit of a twitch there from the rear of that racing green car up in front of Immortal at the moment. He's got Wee Biscuits closer behind him than he does the car ahead, so needs to be careful here not to make any costly mistakes. This sector is probably the one to do it. Seems to be keeping it fairly clean so far.
Well, I'd keep your eye on Daniel, because he looks like he's about to make a move on this Red Bull here. He's been gaining time on it. It's down to 0.2 now. Potentially making the next couple of turns, or on this straight, if I'm going to be honest. Obviously, with having the slipstream, it absolutely blitzed by the Red Bull here of Gravedigger.
Wee Biscuits pulling to the inside into turn 1. Just maybe sending a bit of a warning shot there to Immortal, thinking about going for the move, but doesn't do it just yet. Fastest lap indeed from SLR Raikkonen. There's drama further down the field, as Daniel's definitely had a bit of a moment, and it's caused a lot of cars to get bunched up. Emotive Carrot and Dabbin Squad going side by side through sector 1 there. A massive corner cut from Dabbin Squad. Has to be a warning, you would have thought, but no penalty just yet. Oh, and no, trying to
4th place on one
capitalise.
corner. There's no collision whatsoever, just really bad for taking corner. Does put Daniel back up into the points though.
Which is where he needs to be if Haas are to get a result today. Kabuki getting by the Red Bull of Gravedigger, putting his car up into P14. And, Rogue continuing to chip away at the top of the field here.
He's looking at Mando, and I think he's licking his lips, being able to just sit behind that car and take that slipstream. I wouldn't be surprised if in the next couple of laps he takes that pole. Oh, he's gone off there though.
If things stay how they are right now, Dark Shadow will score more points in this sprint than Aston Martin have scored in the entire season so far.
Just in Division 5 or as a whole?
In Division 5.
I was going to say, it would have been very impressive if it was across the whole of RSF1. Or incredibly disappointing from Aston Martin.
I suppose it depends if you're a fan or not, yeah.
Wow, by the way, Mando just gained 0.5 on Rogue on that straight. I don't know how on earth he's done that.
Oh, there's a spin! There's a spin! Adam Moore has gone around through Sector 1. Wee Biscuits is going to go side by side here with Immortal as well through Sector 1. Backs out of the move now. Cars struggling to just point themselves in the right direction. Sorry to cut you off.
That's completely fine, my friend. Obviously, when there's drama, it has to be addressed. And that is an incident that's going to put Adam Moore down into P16.
We Biscuits and Immortal once again going side by side, but Biscuits with the DRS advantage as well. He's out of ERS, in fairness, but gets by pretty comfortably into the chicane on the back straight, while Liam finds himself spinning as well.
Rogue and Mando side by side here, coming down sector 3. Be interested to see how they take this turn here. It does look like Rogue is going to take the lead on him.
Oh.
Pushes him wide as well. Oh, but Mando's... Oh, no. I think Rogue's going to hold this.
Mando's thinking about it though, isn't he? He's gone side by side again. He's spun! He's around!
Oh,
Mando is around. He's stuck his nose where it just didn't belong. He's dropped all the way down to P7. That's going to be P8, I think, here in just a few moments as Brick Grit is closing in at quite a rate. And all of a sudden, things not going so well for McLaren.
I think the pressure of Rogue is nothing to be understated either. He was absolutely breathing down Mando's lap the second we came out of safety car. There's only so long you can hold yourself before you make that slight mistake. The second you do, he will capitalise on it.
Well, we spoke about him during quali, and in fairness, he managed to pull off a much better result than it looked like for a while. But Wee Biscuits is... Oh, and he bumps the rear of Dark Shadow. I was going to say, he's carving his way through the field here, but he's a little too close to that Aston Martin, I think, for his own good now. But he's got an opportunity back up the straight. He's going to have DRS. They're both even on ERS. That is... The tanks are empty. He's got the advantage now as that rear wing opens, and he's absolutely flying down this back straight. Going to pull to the inside line. Dark Shadow has left it absolutely wide open into the chicane, and Wee Biscuit slots that Alpine through. He's got to defend a little bit, but not too much. He's going to hold position here as they make their way up to this very, very fast right-hander at the top of the field. You can see Stars Orphan in the background, maybe thinking that there might be an opportunity here. They go side by side.
Oh my
the Aston Martin nearly touches, but they all stay pointing the right way round. Oh, there you go, as the Aston Martin drifts wide as well, and Immortal's going to capitalise and retake P3. They're bumping. They're making contact further behind. Stars Orphan is sensing an opportunity. He is going to get that car ahead in just about sneaks it before they finish this lap.
I think Wee Biscuit could be the best driver in terms of under race conditions on the grid. It's genuinely ridiculous how good they are overtaking. Like, I don't understand.
He's definitely up there.
Never puts out the best quality, but oh my word.
The difference in setups here between Stars Orphan and Immortal is pretty noticeable. The extra speed that Stars Orphan has on the straight is absolutely astronomical, and I'm sure we'll see it once again. He's got 29% battery left as well, as the spins further back, and that is Daniel out, and both Hasses are out of this sprint.
Absolute howler from Haas off of this. This is not what we wanted to be seeing. Honestly, final race of the season, I want it. Stars 00 wings. If you're hearing this, mate, I want it. And I want nothing less. No turning,
closing
just
in,
vibes.
but it won't be enough. Dark Shadow maybe thought from that far back that he had an opportunity on the next straight here, and you know what? He's going to give it a go on Stars Orphan. He's using all his battery power, but so is Stars. I think Dark Shadow might actually have a lower downforce setup than Stars does. He's going to swing this up. If Stars leaves the inside open, which he's going to, Dark Shadow's going to try and sneak one in here. Backs off at the very last second, but that Aston Martin is looking very racy.
I could see it down the home straight, you know. I wouldn't be surprised. Also, Aston Martin P5, P6 right now. Very impressive race from them so far.
I think Immortal is in a lot of danger here and could find himself down in P5 if he's not careful. Stars is putting on a lot of pressure. He might look at trying to get this move done down the front straight here, so he doesn't have to worry about it later on. But Immortal's just got such a better exit. 2/10 gained out of that one corner alone.
I do think Aston Martin is just going to enjoy these two racing ahead of them and see if they can just capitalise on an error. Mando saying that, though, has just taken over the other Aston Martin and is maybe going to make a look on his teammate here as well. Absolutely flies by Eddie with no issues. And, oh my god, he span out again.
Oh.
These tyres must be smoking right now. That's unfortunate. As soon as he just makes a move, he's just out of it. Surely there's got to be a tyre overheat or something. The setup just does not seem to be working for him at all.
Further back, Gravedigger and BVB Thor not fighting for points, but they are fighting for grid position. SLR Raikkonen, retiring in the pit lane, so that Red Bull will be starting from the third to last spot on the field, as the last will be reserved for both Hasses. Rogue comfortably leading this race.
Secured. Yeah,
3 seconds ahead. Yeah, Biscuit's pretty firmly P2 as well, as long as he can keep it clean through these final few corners. Dark Shadow, I'm sure, is going to look for an opportunity on Star's Orphan here, but Immortal seems to have held that third place quite well.
Yeah, I would say this podium's pretty much set in stone now in terms of how it's starting. But you never know under race conditions. Like I said, both Haas's are good drivers, and they're both out of the sprint. Like, you never know what could happen here when we come down to the actual race. Don't think we'll see any more overtakes, though, saying that Thor is not too far behind Gravedigger. I don't think he's got enough time. Well, I don't know, he's looking at this Red Bull. Nah, he's not got the speed on that straight. A lot of downforce on Thor here. It doesn't seem to be getting any speed out of these straights. Obviously, he's just cruising by now, but just dropped a place, by the way, from going AFK down the straight as well. Allowed Volar to come through right at the end and take them.
So, McLaren now need 3 points in the race to win the Constructors' Championship.
Could we see some sabotage?
And Haas need to have a 1-2.
It's not looking likely, boys. I'll be honest.
It's not looking good. It's not looking good. SLR Raikkonen, maybe questionably the driver of the day.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think the way they determine driver of the day is dubious, I'd say.
It's odd. It's definitely odd.
I feel like they just pull a name from a hat.
Yeah, they gained 2 positions. Why is he driver of the day?
And retired the car. Like, didn't finish the sprint. Like,
didn't even finish.
I want your prediction right now. Obviously, seeing the sprint, seeing these drivers under race conditions, what do you think the podium's going to look like?
You know what? I think it could be pretty close to what we've got now. In fact, you know what? I'm going to say it is what we've got now.
I'm saying Ferrari, Alpine, and you know what? I'm going to be bold with my third. I'm going to say Aston Martin.
There you go.
I'd love to see it, but obviously, you never know. If it wasn't going to be Aston Martin, it was going to be McLaren. But I'd also love a Haas one too.
Right, here we go then. So let's do another little prediction. I think we say, will Stars Orphan get a podium?
What's the wager? Are we saying another kebab pizza?
Oh, I wasn't there. No, hang on. No, you're trying to scam me out of a kebab pizza here.
The secret is, I'm just hungry. But I don't think it's a secret. You know what? I'm saying if Stars isn't podium, he's 4th. But I wouldn't be surprised if it goes Ferrari, Alpine, McLaren, or Ferrari, McLaren, Alpine.
Right, here's the agreement, Silky. Here's the agreement.
I'm listening.
I'll give you 2 opportunities, right? If you can, and I'll let you do both. I'll be nice. I'll let you do both.
Okay.
If you can name me either, see, I don't know, but if you can give me a driver and get their finishing position correct, you'll get a kebab pizza.
I like the odds.
I was also going to offer, although I'm now doubting it, giving you the correct number of safety cars.
Oh,
but
that's honestly more difficult, I think, because I could just be a cop out and just go rogue P1, but I don't want it to be easy. I don't want a free pizza. You know,
you want to earn. Yeah, you want to earn
exactly. I'm going.
If you want to do the safety cars, all right. Okay. Yeah.
It's Kabuki, who I loved last week. I'm gonna say, obviously a big fan of Kabuki. I'm gonna go, and if you don't do this for me, I'm gonna be very disappointed. By the way, if you're listening, P9.
So if Kabuki finishes in P9, then
He's starting there, by the way, I just realised.
oh, there you go. If Kabuki finishes in the position he starts, then Silky will be receiving a kebab pizza. I don't even know what that is.
It's something I've never tried before. We were talking about it last week. It's just doner kebab on a pizza.
Right. Yeah,
it's
sure,
like
why
the
not?
ultimate hangover food.
I might need to buy you, like, one of each.
That's understandable.
I don't know if many places are gonna...
Oh, I know a couple places, mate. Don't you worry.
Oh, right, okay, alright. We're not sponsored by any takeaway or takeaway company.
But if you were,
if someone is interested and wishes to do more food wagers with RSF1, please get in contact. Papa John's, looking at you.
Yeah, Papa John's, we are, honestly, it came up in the first race, and it will come up consistently. You are, hands down, the best pizza company.
We are advocates. Well, second, we are advocates for
Close.
your offerings.
I would not complain.
And we will continue to do so for money or pizza.
I was like, if you can sponsor an English trophy in football that no one pays for, you can sponsor us.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And what money are they making from the Papa John's trophy? Nothing.
I said no one cares about the Papa John's trophy. RSF1 Division 5, however, now we're talking.
Everybody. Look at this. 18 viewers live right now. That's more than any Papa John's trophy game has had.
I honestly wouldn't be shocked.
This whole season.
I honestly would not be shocked. I don't even think they get that many fans in Wembley for the final. I don't even know if the final gets played at Wembley, to be honest. It's that disappointing.
I really don't know. I do not know. But if you sponsor us, then we could have an RSF1 race at Wembley. I reckon we can make it happen. That's my promise to you.
90 degrees around the corner flags would be tough.
RSF1, Papa John's.
Couple chicanes through the goalposts. I'm all for it.
Yeah. We'll just sit them on Xboxes around the centre circle.
Yeah. All staring each other down, giving the eyes.
I remember when the League Cup was called the Milk Cup. To this day, still don't know who the sponsor was. Was it the cows?
Cup.
It was Cravendale. I don't know.
It was the cows, in my opinion.
It was the cows. There you go. Right. But anyway, on to much less important matters. TYG Rogue will lead them down. The admins won't like it if they heard that. TYG Rogue will lead them down to turn one. Wee Biscuits on the second row of the grid is going to look
from Biscuit as well,
to take this position very early. Stars Orphan with an absolutely phenomenal start here. He's going to be side by side with Wee Biscuits on the way down into turn one. Does have enough to get by as well. Oh, but spins! Starts off and spun! Oh, and there's absolute carnage. Once again, Dark Shadow is out of this race. There's a Mercedes off. There's an Alfa Romeo off as well. Stars off and down in P19. Adam Moore is out. I count 3 cars on my screen already without front wings. Oh my god.
I don't understand. I just don't see why we can't get by turn one. Actually, say that we made it around 2 turns today. You know.
Yeah, 2 turns in the main race.
That's development. That's squad development as a whole.
And now, James and Daniel are now P13 and P14, with Stars Orphan last.
Not what Stars wanted to be seeing here. I mean, he said he was going to have fun, but this wasn't the kind of fun I expected. Demolition derbies are not really on my resume. Don't really have much experience commentating in those, so I don't really know what to say. But 2 cars out in 2 turns is unfavourable, I'd say.
Well, the prediction is looking a mixed one. Will Stars Orphan finish on the podium? 3,000 points were bet on Stars Orphan to finish on the podium, and as things stand, with 26 laps left to go, it's not looking likely.
I'm more disappointed that Kabuki climbed 4 places because of the incident.
That is a shame.
It is. It's a real shame. In the pits though, that's what I like to see. Down he goes.
In the pits,
Back down he goes.
That's what we like to say. In fact, you know where he's going to be?
Oh no, surely not. Oh, he is. No.
Aaron's ruined it. It's all right because with the penalty, they'll swap back. Oh, there you go. There's another penalty.
Corner cutting under safety car is interesting. Retired from the session. Not a fantastic start there from Mr. Note.
So net, Kabuki remains P9.
That's all that matters in this race, honestly. If Rogue wins, cool, fair play. However, if this beautiful AlphaTauri comes up in P9, I'll kiss his racing boots myself. They're going to be, honestly, soaked, but I'll do a shoey. There's my end of the bet. Out of Kabuki's boots, specifically.
All right, fine. Yeah, I will buy you a drink as part of the meal. And
I will
you
do
it
out
as a shoey.
Kabuki's sweaty boot.
Right, Dabbing Squad up in P2. XDG Mando somehow still hanging on barely there in P3. There's one Aston Martin in P4, the other one retired.
Also, for reference, if we were doing the safety car bet, I'd have gone with 4.
All right.
Not that it's going to matter, but
no,
it's worth a try.
I'll tell you what, if you get both, I'll buy you a Papa John's as well.
Oh my god.
Only if you get both.
Hear me out.
Only if you get both.
Me a Papa John's pizza and a kebab, and I just combine them.
Oh, that's a phenomenal idea.
Honestly, I'm salivating. Dark Shadow has left the session, as has Adam Moore, as has Volano. Obviously, all 3 drivers have DNF'd, which is a shame to see, a lap into the race. But, you know, swings and roundabouts. When do we reckon the safety car's going in? I'm going to say lap 3, because they seem to be pretty caught up now.
Yeah, they will be pretty bunched up quite quickly here, so I don't think we'll be waiting too long. Hopefully not, at least.
I do think this will be the lap that goes in, and then we are back to race conditions. Stars, P15. Mando is going to be the man that McLaren need here. Daniel's dropped down into P16 again though, which is unfortunate. But you never know, this Haas is quick, and these drivers are also quick. Gladly not seeing any soft compounds out right now. This is a track that will just burn them on them straights, so always a positive to see no one has made any rookie errors. But you never know. Down the line, someone might potentially pit too early. Could cost them here.
Well, if we see a late safety car, which we've seen a couple times,
I would not write it off.
In Division 5 this season, we've had 2 one-lap shootouts to finish races, which are always great fun. So don't rule one of those out yet. 3 safety cars left to go by Silky's prediction. We'll see if that comes true.
Question is, how many laps do you think you're getting out of softs on this track?
I honestly couldn't tell you.
The answer's not going to be many. I'm aware of that.
Yeah, maybe 7.
Yeah, I'd probably. It depends how hard I'm racing, but I don't think I'd go above 6, to be honest.
8 on softs, says Days Freak. Not a lot.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you're definitely not getting double digits out of them. Let's establish that now. Them straights do kind of cook you, and obviously there are a couple very tight turns. There's the final turn, as well as the one just leading into Sector 2. And get a lot of pressure on those wheels. Interesting to see what Rogue can get out of this car on this straight, see if he can just get away from Dabbing Squad, who has somehow found themselves in P2.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you how that's happened. Anyway, here they go. TIG Rogue will lead them down once again. Dabbing Squad not going to be close enough to make a move. In fact, it doesn't look like any of these cars further down the field are going to be close enough to make a move, which is probably good.
I know, thought I was taking that exit very badly. Ignore me.
There you go. Judging how these last few laps have started, that's a positive for once. I'm sure we'll see Stars Orphan here continue to carve up through the field, but a podium will be, well, it's a big ask for him, but it is
Kabuki's back where I want him.
Kabuki, there he goes, has moved out, but there goes Mando! Oh, Mando has spun once again, and both McLarens are out of the points already in this Grand Prix. In fact, both of them are behind the Hasses.
Mando's setup is absolutely cooking in here today. This is incredible, to be honest. I don't know what he's done with this setup, but it just can't get any grip at all. I think that was down the straight as well.
It's going that it just won't be enough to win them the championship here today.
Yeah, it's not been a fantastic race here for McLaren, but maybe they're just doing it intentionally, you know? See if they can just run it down to the last day. Keep us on our toes.
Battle's gone further ahead. Kabuki is watching Britt, Grit and Thor fight it out through the final turn here. Nearly taps the rear of that Alpine as well. Backs off, using ERS to maybe try and get ahead. He's on medium compound tyres, so if he can get side by side with the French car, he might get something done. Jeez, nearly crashes into the rear. He's going to lose position here to Aaron, maybe? Not quite.
On that corner. That's outrageous.
Immortal and the Scotsman there nearly making contact as they ran their way through Sector 1. And there is your first Haas, James. Right, well,
never mind.
James has just executed a Ferrari.
Yeah, Immortal has been murdered. Oh, Biscuit down in P14. What on earth has happened there?
Okay, well, congratulations to McLaren. After what it looks to be a P16 and P17 result, congratulations on the Constructors' Championship.
Although Daniel is still here, and James is also still here.
Yes, but James now is definitely going to get a penalty.
Yeah. I mean it was a bit of a brutal hit, I would say. Not the cleanest race I've seen.
Wee Biscuit, Immortal and Stars Orphan once again fighting it out through Sector 3, but this time it's for P14.
I was going to say, it's the fight we expected, just not where. I say, if you told me that the last 4 drivers were Stars, Mando, Biscuits and Immortal, I would have pinched myself to see if I was dreaming. Rogue with a 2.5 second lead already. He is just flying away from the rest of this. And the medium compound's doing him flavours as well.
More spins. There goes Raikkonen. It's the second time we've seen them do that so far in this race, and it promotes Daniel up to P11.
Still all to play for these Haas's. Obviously, James is going to get hit with a interesting penalty. Don't know the severity of it yet, but we'll obviously have to see.
There goes Aaron. Out of Sector 2.
Oh my word.
Spins himself, starting the first of the straights. All these big names collapsing.
I was going to say, we have 5 of the people I would have... Honestly, like, 6 of the people I would have put in for the podium out of the points. I would have had Aaron, Mando, Stars, Biscuit, Immortal. All up there. Oh, we have had another spin out and it's Immortal and Raikkonen. I think they've had a collision with each other. Yep, severe collision with Raikkonen.
And it's a safety car. It's a full safety car.
Oh my word.
And every driver, bar Rogue, had an opportunity to pit there. So far no one has. It looks like Britt Grit might be. No, stays out.
That's 2 out of 4.
That's 2 out of 4. 50% of the way to the infamous kebab pizza.
Not even a quarter of the way through the race. What's going on? This is absolute scenes right now. That's how I'd work
Kabuki, 3 positions higher than he needs to be.
Not not setting my stomach up too happily there, but you never know. A bad start off of this safety car could make my tummy rumble again.
It's still to play for. Still to play for.
He is also on the medium, so I'm thinking he's probably going to pit before the couple people coming up behind him in Britain. That potentially drops him down a couple places. I'm doing the maths here. James probably overtakes. That puts him back down in ninth. Well, I'm a hopeful man. Almost too hopeful. But Rogue's not going to be happy with that safety car. Had a 2.5 second lead on Dabbing's squad leading up prior to it, so it's just going to have to work that lead back, which I'm sure he can. He's
just getting yoinked back time and time again.
No safety cars, and he's got a 5 second lead at this point. It's mental. It's so quick.
It is wild.
It doesn't help that the only people who are rivaling his pace are fighting for points at this point. Can't see this safety car going away for a while. We have some drivers just starting Sector 2 now. Suddenly our podium predictions aren't looking so accurate.
They're really not.
No, we need to stop predicting things.
We're not great at it.
It's the commentator's curse, my friend.
It is the commentator's curse.
In which
Sadly,
case, Kabuki, you're not finishing P9.
I like it. Tactical. I rate it.
Honestly, sabotage myself at this point. I predicted 4 safety cars, and we're now a quarter of the way through the race. I'm glad to. I can still see it happening though, because I don't know. I wasn't expecting some of these drivers to cause safety cars, but they have.
Yeah, I mean, a few have profited obviously quite dramatically here. I'm surprised to see Gravedigger so far upfield.
Oh, I didn't even see the Red Bull of Gravedigger. That is impressive.
Yeah, done very well at just avoiding incidents. Both Hasses up in the top 10 with both McLarens outside. That is where they need to be, but they both need to find a sizable chunk more positions.
Does look like a safety car will be in this lap as the grid is now back together. I'm going to say the next safety car is happening in lap 12. I can't see it being much longer, to be honest. Give it another 4 laps, someone will bin it out.
Yeah.
I don't want it to happen by any means. Like I said, as much as safety cars are fun, we have spent half of this race going cruise control.
Yes. It's been a slow start.
I like a defining safety car, not just a constant one. Because right now, these drivers are doing their driving test. And, you know, a couple of them have failed, to be honest. Interesting to see how many of these drivers actually have a license, judging by some of these moves. 0 cars widths being held in certain situations. Rogue's not lost Dabbing squad as quickly as he did last time though. Dabbing squad seems to be holding himself good pace here.
Certainly not, and this might be a big battle to keep an eye on here. Oh,
never mind. Never mind.
Away he goes.
Just give him a corner and he just puts everyone in the mud. He's gained 0.5 in Sector 1. That is impressive. He's so quick. I expected big things from Rogue, but not just this. Well, I think the nicest way of putting it is just dominance.
The mortal spins further down the field.
There are other words that I could use for Rogue to be describing how he's taking this race, but they're not so PG. So we'll stick with, just cooking. He's gained a second on Dabbing Squad in a lap, which is outrageous, to be honest, considering Dabbing Squad is looking at P2.
I've got a phrase that I would use to describe him.
Is it PG? Oh, it's PG.
It starts with D, and it ends in Evision 4.
Yeah.
That's.
I think even that's putting it lightly.
He is a ways ahead.
With some D3s.
Eddie drag. Clearly not enough drag on that car to slow himself down. He speeds in the pit lane.
Very, very quick speeding into the pit lane. Did look like he cut a corner as well, judging by just how many places he flew up before heading into the pit. But didn't get a penalty for that. Is it positive?
As Rogue after
P4.
A single lap, Rogue is now a second ahead. 3 seconds ahead.
Make that 3. It's genuinely ridiculous. He could potentially lap someone by like lap 50. Like the speed that he's taking this car is a joke right now. Oh, yellow flag. Seen a spin out from Biscuit here. Dropped 4 places. What a race, by the way, so far from Alpha Tauri. 3 and 4, respectively.
Well, James has managed to move himself up to P6. Daniel moved up as well to P10. That's because of Eddie Drag pitting. Liam did just get ahead of Dabbing Squad there, but has dropped further back after a little bit of battling. Runs out wide there. Hopefully lets his teammate Kabuki through. Does so indeed.
That's why he's my dark horse.
Now.
He's so quick. I probably shouldn't have gone P9, to be honest. I'm regretting it.
Aiming low.
I had him as my dark horse to win last week. I don't know why I've not just said podium. He's so quick. I do love watching this man race. Just any track I find which has, I'd say, difficult turns, he just masters them. He's not necessarily always the quickest down the straights, but my oh my, that man could take a Sector 2 in the last track. I believe he finished P8 whilst like a purple Sector 2, which is just outrageous. Rogue now almost 4 seconds ahead of second place. I'm flabbergasted.
James is he's looking to take another position here. I think he's sizing Gravedigger up for a bit of a run down the back straight. He likes the look of it. He's got DRS, and look at the overspeed he has to make their way down to the chicane. On softer tyres as well, he's got the inside line, and he will comfortably put that Haas up into P5 as he continues to try and grind away at this lead that Rogue has. He definitely needs a safety car here. It's not going to be an easy task, and he needs his teammate too, but Daniel's continuing to make his way up through the field as well. Maybe the dream not over for Haas.
Redemption arc it's looking like right now, as they're making very, very quick work of the rest of this grid here. Could potentially James make a move on Liam in the next couple of laps as well, and then start to eye up my man Kabuki.
Liam, who had an absolute horror start to the season. I couldn't tell you how many of the races the man did without scoring any points. Found himself a much better standing in recent weeks, and riding in P4 pretty comfortably here today, although given a few more 100 metres, that could be P3, and it's looking like that is going to be the case, or P4, sorry.
I think it's the confidence the new teammate's got.
Barrels it back. James loses out. He's lost out to Gravedigger as well.
Oh no, that's not a good move by James. He just seems to have just relaxed off it a bit too much. Fastest lap from Eddie Drag, by the way.
You go on the fresh medium compound tyres and clean air. That's what can be done. James with DRS once again. He just takes that little sequence of corners at the track so much better than Gravedigger does, and at the second time of asking, he gets the move done once again. Dabbing Squad got past Kabuki as well.
The thing is, though, if you just watch Kabuki come through Sector 3 here, he just glides. It's like watching Bergkamp play football. He just makes these turns look effortless. Interested to see how he takes this final bend in Sector 3, as it could potentially give him some space on Dabbing Squad. We'll have to see how that goes for him.
Oh, that's a big snap from Dabbing Squad.
He just glides. It's effortless for him. Sees one mistake, instant capitalise. And he's easy to beat on these straights, but once he gets into these corners, he is a difficult driver to get past, and he will take you. One mistake is all any of these drivers need here. Mando now in the points. Nope, just drops out. Is he spun out again? No, he's gone in the pits.
No, he's pitted. He's pitted.
Stars now could potentially get points here. How many points did McLaren are going to need here to wrap everything up?
3.
3. So they could genuinely finish 9th and 10th and still make it.
Yeah.
Oof.
There's a naughty four-way battle going on here for P4.
There is, and it's
you've got
very,
Liam
very
James,
tight.
Gravedigger, and Brickrit all battling, and then behind them you've got a four-way battle for P8.
So we do have some very, very tight little mashups here on the grid. Liam does seem to be holding James off, but I do think it's going to be only a matter of time with James being on the softer compound.
I don't think it's a case of a matter of time. I think it's going to be a case of this lap, or I suppose the next lap. Next time they get onto the front straightaway here, I think that'll be it for Liam.
So he has managed to defend very, very well so far, but when that soft compound comes up behind him, TYG Road now in the pits. Going to probably switch over to probably hards here and just see out the rest of this race.
Kabuki's following him despite being on mediums that are one lap fresher.
I like it. Surely he doesn't come out where I think he's going to come out. No, he doesn't. Got a lot to work for here, but a lot of these drivers do still need to pit.
Well, most of them, if not all. I think the only drivers ahead of him that even have a inkling of a chance of going all the way to the end are going to be Stars Orphan and Immortal.
Yeah, I was going to say Immortal's the other one I would have had. Obviously, every driver here has pitted at some point, but actually, no, that's not true. Liam hasn't,
Yep.
Gravedigger hasn't, Brickrit hasn't, Thor and
Dabbing
Aaron.
Squad hasn't.
Dabbing Squad, yeah. Wow, a lot of these drivers actually haven't pitted. My bad.
There you go, James does move up here. They're going to go side by side through the chicane, but James, with the inside line on the exit, loses out.
We'll make this move on Liam, though, mark my words.
Well, he might not get an opportunity to on 12-lap-old mediums here. I think it'll be into the pit lane for the Haas. He's got his teammate behind, though. I think one of them has to go this lap, and one of them has to go next.
With them both being on mediums as opposed to hards, our pit is going to have to come soon. I do see it being Daniel first, however, I could be wrong.
James is pulling in.
James is going
in. Is Daniel going to follow?
Stays out. Oh,
yeah, it does stay
that's
out.
Gonna hurt
Oh,
James
dear.
It's a very short entrance into the pit lane, though, so I'm not surprised a lot of these drivers are speeding.
Well, there's another driver, well, there's someone else watching this race then, who's hoping for another 2 safety cars, and he's in the race.
He is. I think Mando will be absolutely cooking for a safety car right now off of the start he's had to this race now. I think we'll see a lot of drivers start heading to the pit in the next 2 or 3 laps here, with a lot of these hard compounds 14 laps worn. Daniel surely goes in this lap.
Wee Biscuits going side by side with Stars Orphan on older hard compound tyres and gets ahead. In fact, he's going to get ahead of his teammate as well. He gets 2 overtakes done on the back straight there. Thor maybe easing off a little bit. Stars Orphan has made contact with the Red Bull of SLR Raikkonen and finds himself with damage too on the exit of that chicane there.
The 9-lap hards would have done him probably to the end. Not to the end, maybe? Depends how well he was able to manage them, but surely he's got to pit now.
He might have gotten away with it by the looks of things. There was a lot of carbon fibre flying everywhere. Most of it was definitely from Raikkonen. I thought he might have picked up some floor damage, but as he continues to make his way around, I'm not so sure now. The left-hand side of that floor does not look to be in perfect condition, but we'll see. He's not pulling into the pit lane, but if it is floor damage, that won't really make a difference anyway.
So he shouldn't really have any issues with it being light floor damage. We'll have to see how that goes for him. There we go. We see 5 drivers going to the pits now.
Aaron and Brickgrit finding their way up onto the podium now too.
I don't want to speak too quickly, but there is a man who, with penalties, is P9.
Yeah, but with also 6 drivers ahead of him that need to pit.
Yeah, we don't need to worry about that, you see, because if the race ends right now, I'm living.
Yeah, red flag and cancel the race.
Yeah, so it just, it's like a thunderstorm that renders it undrivable, maybe. I'd be all for it. Stars can take his Constructors and Drivers' Championship by default. So he obviously won the Drivers' Championship last week, having completed 2 turns. So he's used to celebrating off of doing absolutely bugger all. However, pushing himself into a very respectable P6 now. Obviously had an absolute howl of a start to this race, but it's made it look a little bit more respectable so far.
Immortal is on the softs. Immortal is on the softs.
You think he makes him last 11 laps though? That's going to be a call.
I think it's a tricky one. I wouldn't be so confident that a lot of these drivers are going to take those mediums.
No, I'm most certainly not the fastest driver here. I would not back myself on softs for 11 laps.
No. Both Alpines staying out for another lap. Thor is going to have done 17 on those hard compound tyres. Biscuits on 16 at least, although I imagine he will stay out and make it an even 17 for himself as well. Whoa, there is Liam going side by side with James on the exit of the pit lane there, just about loses out. So James has profited there, but he's lost out to Dubbing Squad on track 4 position. Dubbing Squad on brand new, fresh medium compound tyres.
It's going to be a hard car to catch.
Yeah, Liam on the same, I imagine, will be wanting to push as hard as he can here to try and take that Haas down quickly.
I don't think we can write a lot of these drivers out right now. Obviously, the pit has been done. For the most part, anyway, aside from a couple of these drivers here.
The strategic pitting has been done.
Yeah. Now it's going to come down to, oh no, I can't race anymore. I need to get into the pit lane.
Just as a note, for those that did put channel points into the prediction earlier on, Stars Orphan on the podium.
He's made his way back.
And there is our 3rd safety car.
Oh,
our 3rd safety car of the race. So Wee Biscuits and BVB Thor, hang on. Oh, Wee Biscuits has gone past. The safety car came out too late and his teammates sped in the pit lane. Stars Orphan is not quite going to be P3 on the exit here, but he's going to be very damn close. In fact, he might just be with Thor needing to pit. Kabuki, no.
That
5 seconds as well. But it
very
might,
interesting.
It might spice things up here for what everyone's obviously watching for, the kebab pizza prediction. Maybe. Oh, he's gone onto softs. He's gone onto softs.
I love this.
This is what you come here for.
He's plummeted down, but he's so quick, I can see it.
And once again, on track, both McLarens are ahead of both Hasses, but Stars Orphan has gone on to 5-lap-old mediums.
I like the call, you know. I think he can make these mediums last.
He's not going to be very quick.
No. He's not going to have the pace, but if he makes them last, a couple of these drivers ahead of him he could struggle with. Like, obviously, pretty much everyone on mediums less than 3 laps old. But has proven he is a quick driver by default. He could just have the fact of having raw pace alone be his ally here. But obviously we'll have to see how that goes. Interesting, Biscuit hasn't pitted yet. These tyres are going to be absolutely cooked. If I don't see him going to the pits here, I'm lost for words, to be honest.
Well, the only reason he didn't pit last lap is because the safety car came out after he'd already passed the pit entry. So, well, we assume.
I would hope so.
I would be stunned if we don't see him come in this lap.
Yeah, it would certainly be interesting. This Kabuki softs call is the spiciest thing I've ever seen. Immortal's already binned off the softs 1 lap in and gone on to the mediums, which I like. I think the softs were doing him any favours. Oh my god, he stayed out.
Biscuits has stayed out.
What are you doing? In the nicest way possible. What on earth is he doing? I mean, I can see him potentially pitting. He's got to pit under safety car, so it's got to be next lap. Like, what is he doing?
Well, is he gonna stay out in an attempt to try and hold up Rogue?
The only thing I can think of is he has technically pitted once, but there's no way he's going to run hards for 25 laps, surely.
We've seen some dramatic ends to long stints in this season already. But maybe
now 4
Biscuits
soft compounds on the grid.
Maybe Biscuits is the one to flip the script. Kabuki is in P11. He does have that penalty, but being on the softs. I need to make sure I got money in my bank account for this. I don't get paid until Thursday.
Oh my god, this AlphaTauri could potentially just feed me. He's fed me with entertainment, and he could potentially physically feed me too. I love this softs call. We now have 5 drivers on the grid on softs. One of them, which I don't think you're right, is Mando as well. He's still got time here to get something. Also, James on the softs is another car which you should definitely keep an eye on coming out here.
P15, I think we could see James all the way up there by the end of this race. Stars Orphan, despite being on mediums that were a few laps old, only down in P7 for now, and Wee Biscuit's almost certainly going to be pitting at some point. You would have thought it's going to be a big ask.
Here, if he doesn't pit here, I'm genuinely lost for words. It's like he's skating on ice at this point.
An even split on the prediction though between people guessing that Stars Orphan will finish on the podium and that he won't. So points up for grabs for the people that predicted there. A few stories still in this race. The safety car staying out for another lap.
Oh my god. He stayed out again.
As is Mr. Biscuits.
He's actually going to try to sink his hards through to the end, isn't he?
I think so.
Well, there's a bit of a collision that's gone on there. It's just in character lane a ridiculous amount of places for no reason. Has just sank back down. I don't know what they've done there. I'll just go into the pits. Ignore me.
Just ran into the pits, yeah. That's alright.
You know what though? That puts Kabuki another place up.
It does indeed.
If I win this bet, I guarantee you're no longer going to want to be a wagering man. But we like to keep things interesting over here.
Exactly. It'll be worth it.
It's all to play for, even for us.
There's never a dull moment in Division 5. Even when the on-track action is subsiding.
Even when I don't win my bet, I still have to drink from Kabuki's shoe. So,
that's true. That's true. We will only have, 7 laps of racing. Biscuits might...
I think he's going to see it out.
It's not out of the question, is it?
It's like I said, I think he's going to run these hards for 25 laps, which, if he can hold that position against Rogue, fair play. I just can't see it.
I mean, it's 25 laps, but including 3 safety car periods.
That's what I mean. Obviously, they don't have the condition you'd expect from 18-lap ones. Says car in here. Oh, that's not going to be Raikkonen in any favours. Absolutely miles behind the rest of the
yeah. Despite Raikkonen's best efforts, as we see them rapidly gaining time now, the safety car is in this lap. So, Wee Biscuits will lead them down to turn 1 on 18-lap-old hard compound tyres with TYG Rogue, who scored... didn't score pole, actually, but led the race down into turn 1 in the sprint, and will be and led the way to turn 1 in the main race here.
If I'm not mistaken, dare I say that was safety car number 4 as well?
Safety car 3.
Oh, damn it.
You've one more.
It's
See
still
what
there.
Wee Biscuits does. Is he going to go early or late? He goes... Oh, not early enough. He's let Rogue get a bit of a run, but maybe too much of a run, actually. He's had to back up, and that's caused the Williams further back to Constantina too. Rogue is going to try and get this move done here. Drifts to the inside, back to the outside.
Defending.
Can't get front. Wee Biscuit, it might well be the best racer in this division.
I told you.
At the moment, he's holding position so well, defends the inside there too, and the Ferrari just doesn't have as much of a run. Now, it's around this final corner where we've seen James gain so many positions so far in this race. Biscuits needs to get a good run here in order to fend off Rogue, as Raikkonen spins further down the field as well. That could bring out another safety car. He gets going again, so it should be alright. Wee Biscuits is using all of the ERS he has left in the tank, but so is Rogue. They're both down to sub 60% battery power before they hit the brakes into the chicane, and Wee Biscuits is going to lead them for just a little bit longer.
I don't think Rogue's going to be allowed a move on the inside. If he wants Biscuit, he's going to have to go the long route. He's going to have to take the scenic route around this Alpine. He's not giving up any inside corners.
Daniel currently battling with Stalsdorf, and he needs to get ahead of that McLaren if he wants to keep Haas's championship dreams alive. They're all but dead at this point, but he can at least make a bit of a name for himself as his teammates down in P14, but on the softs make that P13 as he gets past Eddie Drag in the Aston Martin there. Rogue continuing to close in, but tapping his ERS as they go. 10% difference between the two cars at the top of the field. And he's so much closer on the way down to turn 1
Daniel
now.
pushing into P8 is still just getting the most out of this car. Is genuinely very, very impressive right now.
Biscuits does give up the inside line into turn 1. Rogue cuts it though a little bit and might find himself drifting wide. Does just a touch, but it won't be enough. He is ahead.
That's a corner cut for Biscuit. They should get a penalty off that, surely, if not a warning.
Doesn't mean it's the end of the world for Biscuits, but as the track conditions start to deteriorate, you can see the clouds coming overhead, and the asphalt gets colder. I'm not sure Wee Biscuits is going to get a chance to get that position back. And I'll say that, and he's gaining time, and he's not using his battery to do it. Neither is Rogue, so maybe this race isn't done for Biscuits.
I just don't get how he's getting so much out of this car with the wear on them tyres. He's having a phenomenal race.
In fact, he's forced Rogue to use ERS, so much so that Rogue is now in the flashing red. He's got sub 10% battery left. If Biscuits can get a good run through this final sector, which is where he's going to struggle with how old these tyres are, but Rogue is not on brand spanking new tyres himself. I
don't think we can write a dabbing squad here either. Obviously, dabbing squad still has enough in the tank to get by both of these cars potentially if they get a good exit here in sector 3.
And a Williams win here would be something else.
I just can't get any grip out of these new softs. Span out twice in 2 laps now. The OS is now enabled. Now is where it starts to matter. As dabbing squad makes the move on Biscuit. Choosing not to pit there was an interesting move, I'll be honest. It's going to come back to bite him.
England squad running out quite wide there though, but not enough to force a penalty.
Rogue's already a second clear. He's just so quick. Not even in DRS range for
Was that a
Davin
spin?
squad
Did
anymore.
Daniel just spin off?
He's
James
dropped a couple
span off.
places. James is still going, P10 now.
I know it was Daniel. Yeah, it was Daniel indeed.
Times
As we
P7.
biscuits
Oh,
trying to fend off Liam
stars.
through the chicane on the back straight there as well. And does manage to hold position.
Look at Brick Grit here as well. He's just absolutely flying on this soft compound, whereas Brick Grit is on the mediums. There is less than a second between every car, between 8th and 14th right now. Very, very close in the run for points right now.
I think all being well, Wee Biscuits has to be up for contention for driver of the day.
Oh, for sure.
As it stands.
The fact that he's not binned this car as a whole would put him up there for me. With the conditions his wheels are in, it's impressive that he's managed to stay, let alone compete, for this long.
Continuing to hold off Liam here. He's going to get it done for another straight, it looks like, and indeed does so. Holds position once again. What a drive this is from Wee Biscuits.
Kabuki's going to make a real Brick Grit here as well. P6.
Kabuki is really carving up the field now, even with that penalty.
He's just quick. And he just handles corners so well. I think it's impressive that Biscuit hasn't given up P3 yet. Oh, yellow flag here as Daniel spins out. If Raikkonen gets another spin out, we could potentially see him lapped here.
If those dreams weren't dead before, he's off to see the rabbits now.
I'll say they have been slaughtered.
Brick Grit and
It was an
James.
unfortunate drive from the Haas, obviously in the sprint, having killed both cars off in that sprint race, has cost them here the Constructors' Championship.
Imagine if they hadn't both been out in the sprint with both McLarens all the way down the field in the main race.
They're quick
Imagine
drivers.
how different this story could have been.
They would have avoided the whole mess that happened at the start of this race as well.
Daniel pits onto the softs. It might be enough to steal away the fastest lap point. Biscuits once again defending against Liam. Drifts over to the outside there and holds it once more.
Oh wow! Speaking of fastest lap, the man with the spin-outs, SLR Raikkonen, has just set one. He's got to get a point somewhere. That's how he's going to get it.
There's a three-way battle for P8 at the moment. Brick Grit, James and Stars Orphan are right on top of each other. Mando is right in there as well.
I could see Kabuki making another move or two here before the end of this race. He is just carving through these fucking turns. Sorry for my language.
I was going to say.
You have an interesting battle here between the two McLarens, though, as Mando looks to make a move on Stars here. They both have about the same in terms of ERS, though he is burning the rest of his here, trying to make the move on his teammate. Is going to get it, potentially. Surely on the softer compound, you're going to let him by. There it is. Buki's got that timer down from Gravedigger from 1.1 to 0.6, so he takes a very bad exit on that turn there. It's going to cost him a lot of time.
Biscuits lost out to Liam on the last lap here. But he's got a chance to get it back. Not quite going to be enough.
You deserve it. Oh, that is a corner cut.
Using ERS here as much as he can to try and get alongside the AlphaTauri. He is going to be firmly alongside the AlphaTauri. He's going to be back ahead of the AlphaTauri.
What a drive from Biscuit, man. Oh my word. Going to allow him the inside here though. He just doesn't have the grip. Oh my god, they are shoulder to shoulder again.
He's got the inside line here though. It swings back into a left-hander. Liam gives it up, nearly gives it up so much to let the Red Bull of Gravedigger through. What a fight this is for the final podium position here on the second to last lap.
Gravedigger takes Liam as well. I think we are criminally underestimating the drive from Dabbing Squad here today, by the way. What a drive.
Well, so far in the driver of the day poll, he is leading the way. So audience agreeing with you at least.
I think the most surprising thing for me is just he's the only driver I've seen so far today that just hasn't really let Rogue get away from him. He's had this 1.1 pretty much since we resumed racing. Oh, that's a spin out from Mando. That setup has killed him today. That's going to be McLaren out of the points as a whole. Fastest lap is currently taken by the man in P17.
I'm really worried Wee Biscuits is going to get a puncture here.
I wouldn't be surprised, but he's just got one more lap.
Oh.
Them tyres are looking thin though.
He's fending off Liam with absolutely everything that he has.
Them tyres are looking incredibly thin.
Aaron gets past Gravedigger further down the field. You know what? Kabuki,
I'm saying
hang on.
It's looking very interesting. It's looking very interesting. I wasn't going to say anything, but
oh dear. Oh, it's not looking good for me. James, come on, find some pace. Make something happen. Liam is not going to have enough to get past Wee Biscuits, and in fact, Aaron might find 2 positions here on the final lap. Wee Biscuits has given those tyres absolutely everything, and somehow they've held together. I don't know where Aaron's even gone. He's spun off. He might have crashed. He has crashed. Kabuki's used his penalty. Here we go. Immortal's going to come up to the line now. Ah, he's P9.
It's been secured.
Kabuki 8 finds himself in P9.
Oh, Kabuki, I could kiss you.
Oh.
10 seconds.
Stars awful with 10 seconds. DSQ.
Is it the donuts?
Is it the donuts?
Is it the donuts? Is it?
Yes.
Yes.
He's not in shot at all. But
here's the donuts from Stars. There they are. The man of the hour, winning the Drivers' Championship. He's got the donuts out when they mattered.
Indeed, McLaren have won the Constructors with a P14 and presumably a DSQ.
Yeah.
He's still not in shot.
He's still about.
Oh, there he is. Camera's drifting over.
Oh.
Go on.
Is he gonna... Where's he going?
Has he been DSQ'd?
Not yet.
He might have been.
He's still moving his car forward, just about. Any second now. No DSQ?
Well, I've now no idea what is going on at all.
Oh, another 10-second penalty.
Another 10 seconds. This is a shocker from our champion. How many
This is
penalties?
what I wanted to see. He's got. Oh, he's gonna go. He's going through the barricade.
Oh, through the Aramco.
And the blue one. Smashes through. Sensational speed he's getting out of this car.
Hang on, he's going to get teleported if he keeps going that way. Oh no, he's not. It'll let him cut that one.
Now here he comes, down the final end. Your driver's champion, by the way, with a very respectable 30 seconds of penalties and P17. Down the final straight. very, very quickly. Absolutely tremendous pace here from Stars. He's flying down this home straight.
Is he going to give us some donuts?
He's ended up back in his position in P17. He's arrived on the grid, ready for the next week's race. Here he comes. Look at the speed. Warming up the tyres for when it counts.
I think he's maybe trying to do donuts, but he's got traction control on.
Yeah. And... oh, here it comes. Across the line. Congratulations, Stars. What a drive.
Yeah. A collection of great performances there today. Somehow James with driver of the day. Can't say I agree with that one.
Wee Biscuit or Dabbing Squad, surely.
Wee Biscuits won the vote from chat there, but congratulations to the McLaren drivers on another race. Another race well driven, I would normally say. Well, that was what I was about to say. But congratulations on the constructors championship.
I say, what a drive we've seen here today from the majority of the drivers on the grid. A lot of drivers I just didn't expect to be anywhere near where they are. Today was certainly the most eventful race I've seen here in RSF1 Division 5, and I've seen a fair few.
It was certainly something. It almost had it all, but luckily Wee Biscuit's able to hold on to those tyres and save himself from chaos at the end. 77% tyre wear, and he did get a puncture.
He got a puncture. He finished with a puncture.
And he held it.
Oh my words. I don't think you can write him off after that. Surely that's driver of the day. Though I wouldn't take anything away from Dabbing Squad either.
Just great performances from so many drivers and absolute howlers from so many others.
Lee Biscuit also the only driver in the top 6 who pitted twice and still came in third with that tyre wear.
Aaron will feel hard done by, I will say that.
Yeah, that spit out is devastating. Mercedes both out the points here today as well. Tough watch.
Right, well then, let's see who we can get in and speak to. Who should we have a look at? Let's see if we can get Dabbing Squad in. Wee Biscuits will obviously have to talk to on Discord afterwards, is all. As he is a PlayStation man. And I think the McLarens we'll see. Really, the McLarens should be left till next week, but we will see. I'll let you take it away with the first interview then, Silky.
Fantastic. Oh, for some reason it says Dabbing Squad is muted. There we go. I can now see him. Give me 1 second. Hello there. Can you hear me? Mr. Dabbing Squad, hello.
What's in general?
Controversial take into just the country or the track? Very impressive race though. Coming in at P2 is honestly fantastic. What a race you had! Like coming off of qualifying and during the sprint.
I think
I'll be honest,
my tyres were dead.
A lot of drivers towards the back end of that were struggling very
I don't know.
But coming up with a very respectable P2 in the Williams, nonetheless, is nothing to write off. I think, especially considering the other person you had to fight with, who obviously ended up winning today's race, was just ridiculously quick. It's a very respectable score. Obviously, took P2 off of Wee Biscuit, who had a fantastic drive. But wow, what was your strategy coming into today's race?
Right. Well, it sounds like we're having some issues today. I don't know if there's something there with the Xbox party or something like that. That is fortunate. Sounds like the guys can't quite hear each other. I will. We'll see here if I can have a quick word with Wee Biscuit, and we'll get you his thoughts. And yeah, maybe best that we don't end up trying to get McLarens in tonight, at least. It sounded like a few people couldn't really hear. Wee Biscuits, are you there?
I am here, yeah.
I mean, what a drive. What an absolutely phenomenal drive from you. I have no idea how you made that car last all the way till the end of the race. But as a right in seeing there, you did get a puncture.
Yeah, I was coming around the final corner and I really noticed like the speed, so I added like the difference in speed, and I clicked to see in the left front was at 100% and everything else was in the 70s. I was happy to hold on to it, but I feel really bad because I was a bit hard in my defending on Liam, but I think he did send it a few times on me, so I just done a bit of a hard defence back, but if I did upset him, I'm sorry.
I think it all looked pretty fair from our end, at least. Looked to be some drama at the end there. Aaron had a bit of an off, but these things happen. It was very close racing all the way through. I say, no idea how you made it last that long. I suppose. Well, it'd be on to next week for you. You've still got something to play for here in the in the Drivers' Championship. Obviously, moving up into P6 after today's performance puts you in for the Race of Champions, or starts to edge you closer towards the Race of Champions. Are you still aiming for that? Is that something you're looking forward to potentially getting a chance at competing in?
I hope so. I mean, after that drive today, I have a bit of confidence going forward. I mean, if I spun on, I didn't get taken out. I had a bit of a coming together with stars on lap 1, and then what the hell happened behind me, I have no idea. I ended up getting a 10-second time penalty, and I got put on the softs, came back out and boxed again for the hards, and made them last from lap 2 to lap 27 or 29, whatever laps it was.
Absolutely absurd performance, and you deserve all the plaudits for it. I mean, we were saying continuously throughout, we do think you are time and time again one of the best racers in the division there. I think if you could get some quali pace sorted, you'll be flying, definitely fighting for the championship next season. But hopefully we'll see you again in Division 5 and some more stunning performances from you as well.
Thank you. Thanks.
You were voted driver of the day by the Twitch chat, so congratulations on that as well. I voted for you for myself. I think it was an absolute stunning drive today, so you can take that away with you at least, if nothing else. But yeah, congrats on a very well driven race.
Thank you so much.
All right, well, that'll be it for us then. It's a shame those interviews were cut short there. Definitely issues with the Xbox party, unfortunately, but these things happen. We've got one more race left in Division 5 before the end of the season. It is our season finale, this time next week, taking place in Mexico City, which should be an exciting one. Tends to create some carnage as well. I know people want to speak to the McLarens next week. I promise I will give you your opportunity. I know you've won it today, but we'll give you proper time to chat. We'll do a little bit of a post-season debrief. We'll get a bunch of people in. Maybe I'll see if I can get approval for that, and we'll have a little talk with everybody at the end and discuss how the season went. But congratulations to Mando and Stars Orphan on a Constructors' Championship. Well won. Of course, that means McLaren as well win the overall Constructors' Championship across all 5 divisions. So congratulations to all the drivers there. But I do owe somebody a pizza. So a kebab pizza. So I'll get on that. Maybe I'll see if I can convince him, and we'll leave it till next week. and do it for our proper stream. But thank you to everybody for tuning in. It's an absolute pleasure. I'm glad to be back. I will see you once again this time next week for the final time on F1 22. Congratulations to everybody, and thank you for tuning in.